Hi, I'm a professional artist and I created this 30 by 40 acrylic painting for a customer overseas, a painting of Moses, Aaron, and Hur in the Amalekite battle. Today I want to show you how to package a painting so that it makes it to its destination safely, a simpler, easier way to package a large acrylic painting. This could also be used for an oil painting as well. We start with shrink wrap and just cover the painting first to create a barrier. So cover your painting with shrink wrap, and then you're going to basically flip it over and put it on top of a couple pieces of foam core. Next, we're going to fold that shrink wrap over and use a little bit of packaging tape just to secure it in place. And you don't have to use a heat gun or anything like that to shrink the shrink wrap and make it super tight. It just needs to have a barrier, and that protects the painting from scuffs. Then we want to put some shrink wrap around all the edges and just run it over several times to hold it in place. After that, we're going to put another barrier of foam core on the other side so that the painting is sandwiched between foam core board on either side. Now this is a 30 by 40 inch canvas, and so I just tape the two pieces together. These are standard size pieces of foam core you can buy at a store, and when you put them together it actually fits the painting perfectly. You might need to cut yours down to size. After that, I'm going to be cutting some strips that'll go along this side, and these are going to go over all the edges of the canvas. So I'm cutting these to the thickness of the canvas, which in this case is a little over 1 inch wide, and I'm using the one strip that I cut as a template and cutting more strips. And see, I'm just kind of moving that down the line and creating several of these strips with foam core. And now I have them cut, and just using an X-Acto knife or standard utility blade, and I'm taping these strips onto the edges of the canvas, and that's going to provide some extra buffer to keep the edges of the canvas from getting scuffed, dented, or otherwise damaged during shipping. And I do need to give the disclaimer that if you choose to use this method, you have to do your due diligence. I cannot be held liable for any damages that occur because there's many different factors in shipping, not the least of which is, how well you utilize this method. But I can tell you I've shipped many paintings like this, and it's worked well for me. Not too many larger ones, but several smaller ones. Okay, so now we're going to, after creating the first layer, which is the painting, shrink wrap, foam core, now we're going to cover it with another piece of cardboard, and we do actually have some styrofoam on the inside. I wasn't able to show that process because I had to cut that in my garage, but I have two pieces of styrofoam insulation board, approximately 3/4 inch thick. You could use 1 inch thick as well, and that is going on top of our canvas, and then covering this with cardboard that I just used from a delivery box. I think it was for an appliance. So if you can get your hands on some large cardboard, that works well. I have a smaller piece of cardboard inside, and then I also have a piece of hardboard as well that's going on top of the painting. So we have the painting, the shrink wrap, we've got a piece of hardboard, we have two pieces of styrofoam, and then I'm using shrink wrap to secure it all in place. And then I have the hardboard on the other side. So I have one piece of hardboard abutted against the painting. I have another piece on the opposite side. And then I have cardboard going on either side of the painting. So you can kind of see what we have here. If you look at that sandwich, again, you'll see the styrofoam on the side closest to me. Then there's a piece of hardboard in between that styrofoam and the actual canvas. And that would be your 1/8 inch thick masonite kind of hardboard. And then we have the styrofoam on the opposite side. So it's completely encapsulated with the EPS kind of styrofoam, just that white styrofoam you can buy at a hardware home improvement store. Then I have the outer box. The outer box is a piece of cardboard that I cut little folds in, and you can crease that with the utility knife to be able to bend it and basically wrap it around. I'm using tape to secure this cardboard to the styrofoam because I wasn't able to create an entire box that covered the whole thing. So we have to kind of manufacture our own box. But I have that going around, and I'm just basically taping either side, making sure everything is secure. And you can see now how it looks with a flap going on either side. So you end up having two pieces of cardboard, and then you have to create an outside flap that goes over it. And then this is going to go basically around the edges and cover everything. So I'm using a ruler and creasing this piece here. So I'm not cutting all the way through. I'm just cutting it halfway, and then it can kind of bend. Just making several measurements, making sure everything will fit. Yep, creating a couple of creases. You can see how that bends, and then I put that on the shorter side of the canvas, the 30-inch side. Sometimes you have to make some adjustments, and we tape that then to the front and the back using the packaging tape. So every side of the canvas has this extra buffer of cardboard to really make sure that the corners are solid. We have several layers of protection. Again, the shrink wrap, the foam core, thin board. We have hardboard over that. Then we have 3/4 inch or 1 inch thick EPS styrofoam, and then cardboard on the outside of that. So this saves you from having to use a lot of bubble wrap and things like that, making your package way, way bigger than it needs to be, which just increases the shipping cost and also the jostling around of your canvas on the inside. Now, some people might create a wooden crate, but I don't think that's necessary. The sturdiness is really provided by the stretcher bars itself and the canvas, and then also the hardboard and the white styrofoam board. Now I'm just kind of creating some extra corners here on either side. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get everything on the canvas, but I had to kind of piece together some smaller sections because the board didn't cover everything. The cardboard didn't cover everything, so I had to make sure I have the corners also secure too. And just taping everything together with a lot of packaging tape. And it was just easier to set this on the floor, so I'm sorry I can't get all of that in the camera shot. But it gives you a good idea of what this box looks like when everything is all packaged together. Just putting a little bit of extra tape on here. And that's about it. So now the package is pretty much finished, and then all I need to do is put the label on and it's good to go. And that's what it looked like when it was ready to go to its shipping destination, and it made it there safely. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe. And God bless. We'll talk to you soon.